We grew this boring office products brand from $10,000 a month to $100,000 a month in revenue in a year using Amazon PPC, and I'm gonna show you the exact campaigns we used to do it so that you can replicate this success for yourself. And wait, just because I know you're thinking it, yes, we did it profitably. In fact, our margins increased during the period of this growth. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through step by step how we did it, showing you the actual campaigns we used and how to set them up. If you watch this video all the way through, you'll end up with 3 proven strategies you can use to duplicate this success on your own brand, and you'll get to watch me sipping my iso chicha. That's good. Later on, I'll also give you access to a full written case study that lays out all the strategies we use so you can pull it up alongside you while you're setting up your campaigns. I'm Chris Rawlings. I'm one of the single top spenders of Amazon ads on the platform with over $4 million in monthly Amazon PPC ad spend. So here's the brand. This is one of the partner brands in our portfolio. We sell paper and other office product stuff, pretty boring stuff. And I like boring brands because boring means it filters out all the aspiring brand owners that want to start some kind of hip apparel brand or sunglasses brand that they can brag to their friends about. There's less competition, which is awesome. So this is just a rule of life. Ready? Boring businesses print. So you can see the growth path we've been on here. We're still on it, still growing, and only expect to continue this growth. Now let's jump into the campaign manager and actually dig into these campaigns. Now, first of all, what do you see as the themes as time goes on over the past year here? Basically, this green line is our ACoS. So our ACoS has been consistently dropping until it found kind of its happy, medium, sustainable level where we could leave it at that level and it was economical for us, but we were able to continue scaling sales at a consistent ACoS. You can see the ACoS has gone up slightly over the past couple months, which is expected because we're scaling sales pretty aggressively. And having an ACoS, you can see 31% ACoS on average, but recently we've been at about 26% ACoS. But ACoS is not the most important metric. TACoS is the most important metric, total average cost of sale, which means your ad spend divided by your total sales. And the reason that that's important is because you're not just getting sales directly from the ads. Your ad sales also increase your organic rank, which gets you more organic sales. And that's what you really want to measure. What's my ad spend divided by all my sales? And in our case, we're at a profitable TACoS. So let's take a look at the campaigns here. So what I've done here is I organized the campaigns by sales so that we're looking at the top sales generating campaign and going down from there. And we're going to go through each of these campaigns, how it was set up, what type of campaign, what type of ad type it was, what type of targeting it was, so that you can see what a growing, profitable brand looks like on the back end. But before we start, I gotta take a sip of my fuel, my iso chicha. That's good. All right, top spending campaign here and top revenue generating campaign here at about $110,000 worth of sales at a 27% ACoS. We have a product targeting sponsored product campaign targeting close competitors. Now, this is a theme you guys have heard me talk about if you've been on the channel before, is that used to be the case about a year ago that a vast majority of your ad spend would go towards keyword targeted campaigns and sponsored products or exact match single keyword campaigns for the purpose of ranking. That's really not the case anymore. Sometimes it is, especially for winner takes all niches, but most of the time, these other targeting types and these other ad types, there's way more diverse ad spend going towards different types of targeting, different types of ads. And product targeting has really been crushing. Product and category targeting have been the kind of heroes of 2025, and I expect that to continue. So here we have a product targeting ad. It's our top sales generating ad, and it's a really good ACoS. If you look at the ACoS, I mean, all of these ACoSs are really good, but this one, being that it's top spending and it's got a really good ACoS, you know it's really crushing. So this ad smacks. It's literally just targeting some of the closest competitors that are also ranking for our top converting keywords. So let's take a look at the targeting here. You can see we have about 15 different product targets, and all of these are competitors that have significant amount of volume of sessions to their listings. It's great if you can target offers that are worse than yours, because then you look better. But if they're not getting any traffic, you're not going to get any impressions, right? So we're targeting mostly our top competitors, the ones that are actually ranking for the keywords. It's good if it's an offer where ours is better, either via price or inclusions or features or benefits. But the most important thing is that they actually get traffic. Otherwise, the ads aren't going to get impressions and they're not going to get clicks. But here's the interesting thing. Let's click back to the campaign and go to bid adjustments. We actually have a 90% bid adjuster on top of search here. And if you look at the breakdown of our placements, most of our orders are actually coming from search, top of search, and not necessarily product pages, which is interesting because these are product targeting ads, right? But whether you're targeting products or keywords, your ads can show up on product listings or in search. And in this case, we just found that even when we're targeting these products, the search ads, especially the top of search ads, are doing really well when we target these products. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, we see a 21% ACoS here. So we kept upping the bid adjuster, and this ended up being our top performing campaign. Okay, now let's take a look at our second and third best performing campaign. You could see $77,000 worth of sales and $68,000 worth of sales, 27% ACoS, 28% ACoS. Both of these are single keyword exact match keyword targeted campaigns in sponsored products, targeting keywords that are really important for us. So let's click in and look at the nitty gritty here. First, let's take a look at the bid adjustments on this. Since we're targeting a single keyword with this campaign, that means that keyword is really important to us. So again, you could see we have a 90% bid adjuster top of search. And the reason for that is top of search, first of all, is producing the best ACoS. But even if it wasn't, we might put a bid adjuster on top of search because it has the biggest impact on organic ranking. And that's one of the greatest benefits that you get from single keyword exact match sponsored product campaigns is they help you powerfully to rank for that keyword that you're targeting. Because more clicks to a keyword targeted ad that shows up top of search means more relevance in Amazon's eyes, as long as your conversion rate is high. Hence, it's bound to increase your organic ranking over time. So that's the main purpose of this campaign. It also happens to be very economical at the same time. Sometimes you're not going to have both, and you have to eat sort of a higher ACoS while you're targeting these keywords top of search. But best one is a product targeting campaign with close competitors. The second and third one are single keyword exact match campaigns and sponsored products with top of search bid adjusters. Now the fourth one down is a category targeted campaign. This is another trend you guys have heard me talk about on this channel, which is category targeting campaigns have been working better and better over the last 12 to 15 months. And this is a pattern. We always try to test this out on accounts to see if it works. The general philosophy here is you want to target the same category you're in to start. And then if that works, then you look at sort of adjacent categories that are similar to yours or complementary to yours, but not exactly yours, and see if those work as well. But in this case, let's click into this campaign and see what we're targeting here. So you can see we tried a few different categories. Some of these we turned off and some of them we left on. The ones that are working the best are cardstock paper, and this one, which is cardstock paper and a specific brand. So in category targeting, you can actually go in and select a specific brand to target, which basically targets all their ASINs instead of you having to go in and input the ASINs individually on a product targeting campaign. So let me show you how you do that. So if you wanted to create a campaign like this, you'd click create campaign, go to sponsored products, sip your hojicha, scroll down, select the product that you want to advertise. You're going to keep it to just one product per campaign. Click manual targeting, go to product targeting, and then you're going to click, instead of individual products, you're going to click categories. And here you can either look at suggested categories or you can search for categories. So Amazon usually is going to suggest the category that's most relevant to you, and you can just click add there. But when you want to start looking for other categories, you just go to search, and then you can either browse to your category and add it in like this. Or if you want to select a particular brand, you can click refine, and then you can go into this brand section and actually select one brand to target. So this is less like category targeting and more like competitor targeting, but instead of targeting ASINs, you're just targeting the entire competitor. So it's gonna ideally show up on all of their listings and searches that they're likely to rank for. Let's take a look at the bid adjustments on this again. So in this case, it's a little more spread out, but you can see again, top of search is doing best for us. We have a 70% bid adjuster on that. After that, followed by rest of search, we have a 40% bid adjuster. And in our case, the product pages, we have a 0% bid adjuster. And you can see the reason for that is because product pages was giving us a lower ACoS by a significant margin than the top two, which were top of search and rest of search. Now the fifth campaign is a campaign targeting keywords in sponsored products, but instead of one single keyword like these two alpha campaigns, this is targeting a group of keywords. Now this is another thing that you guys have heard me talk about. When you're grouping keywords together, you want to group them by buyer intent. In this case, we put a bunch of keywords in there, selected exact match, and we targeted keywords that are related to white cardstock. So this means we found in our other campaigns that these were types of keywords that were working well for us, and we wanted to target all the keywords that included that. So let's click into this campaign and check out our targeting. So all of these keywords have something in common. They're searching for cardstock. Sometimes it's one word, sometimes it's two words. We have white cardstock, cardstock paper, white cardstock paper, ream of white cardstock white, white cardstock paper. These are all people that have that particular buyer intent and that type of language that they're using to search for. So other people might not even know that stock is a word that you use to describe printer paper. I wouldn't describe it that way. I would say printer paper or ream of printer paper. These are all one buyer intent. And doing it this way gives you some pretty unique insights. So you can see how you do with different types of buyer intents that use different language or solving different problems. And then you can adjust your primary image and your listing. And I'm going to show you ways that we did that in our case here to make those shopper intents convert better and click more. If you don't do this and instead you're grouping your keywords just by search volume, like high search volume keywords, medium search volume keywords, low search volume keywords, you don't get as much actionable data out of your PPC, and therefore you can't make changes to your listing, your thumbnail, and your ad creative that responds to how the market is actually interacting with your product based on their particular problem or the language that they're using. So to set up a campaign like this is pretty simple. You just go to sponsor products, click create campaign, take another sip of your hojicha, add the product. You're gonna go to manual targeting, click keyword targeting, enter list, and then here is where you're gonna deselect phrase, deselect broad, leave exact checked, and here's where you're gonna enter each of the keywords that you wanna target. So card stock, white, card stock, ream of card stock, etc. Now, where do you get this list of keywords? Well, if it's a brand new launch, you're gonna get it from your keyword research. And if you don't know how to do keyword research properly, check out my video on keyword research on my channel, and you'll learn all about how to do that properly there. But if you already have ads running, the best place to get these keywords is from your existing search term reports. If you want to know how to analyze your search term reports and pull out the keywords that are doing best and group them by shopper intent, check out my video on analyzing search term reports. That's also on my channel. It's one of my most recent videos. Okay, so that's the top 5 campaigns. The 6th best performing campaign by sales with another really low ACoS is actually, surprisingly, another single keyword exact match campaign in sponsored products. Now, I'm not going to get into how to create this. We already walked through that. That was what the 2nd and 3rd best performing campaigns were. This is just another keyword that's really important to us. Really important keywords always deserve their own campaign, because then you can fine tune your bid adjusters and everything else about the ad based on how it's performing if you know that that keyword is really important for you to dominate and rank organically for. Okay, and on to the 7th top performing campaign, also with a good ACoS, producing significant sales. This is a broad modified campaign targeting keywords, but instead of exact match, we're using broad modified. Now, if you don't know what broad modified is, I have a whole video on match types. You're welcome to check it out, but let's click into this campaign and check out the targeting. Okay, so you can see the targeting here. There's actually only 3 keywords that we input for the targeting. There's plus card, plus stock, plus white, plus card stock, and plus card stock. So in this case, plus card, plus stock, it means Amazon has to include both of those words when it's advertising, but it doesn't have to include them in that order, and it can include other words around it. So for this target plus card plus stock, it could advertise us for white card stock or card stock white or ream of white card stock. As long as it includes card and stock, Amazon can advertise us for it. So this is broad modified is cool because it allows you to tell Amazon the words that you want to be in the ad, but it gives Amazon enough flexibility to be able to show you for other terms you might not have even thought of or seen in your data yet. So this is a good mix of giving Amazon some guidance on what we want to target and also allowing Amazon the leeway to find new targets for us that we didn't even know about. And you'll see this if we actually go into the search term section here. Now you're going to see what we're actually being advertised on. Okay, so if I order this by sales, we'll see what actual customer search terms are producing most of the sales. And you can see in our case, it's actually pretty evenly distributed. It's not always going to be like this. Sometimes it's more of a winner take all environment where one of the search terms dominates a lot of the spend. In our case, it's pretty distributed. So we've got pack of white card stock, 100 sheets of heavyweight white card stock, thick white card stock, 80 pounds white. All of these are a result of these input search terms, that input keywords that we put in as our targeting, and Amazon took the leeway to advertise us for other things that we wouldn't have thought of. Like this one, for example, 80 pounds. This is our 4th best performing search term in this campaign, but we might not have thought of that if we didn't put just white card stock and allow Amazon to add in that 80 pounds right in the middle. So how do you create a campaign like this? You're just gonna click create campaign and sponsor products. Then you're gonna scroll down, add your product, and then you're gonna click manual targeting. Then you're gonna click keyword targeting, then go to enter list. And then you're gonna deselect phrase, deselect exact, and leave broad. And when you input it, instead of putting in white space card stock, you're actually gonna type in plus white space plus card stock. And this is how you create a broad modified campaign. It's not on the list, but it is sort of like a fourth match type. There's broad, phrase, exact, and then broad modified, but Amazon just doesn't show that. You have to know how to use it, and that's this nomenclature right here. All right, so that's the top 7 campaigns. Now let's get into the 8th, 9th, and 10th best performing campaigns. And then I'm gonna show you guys how you can download a written version of this case study, including an interview with the brand owner who we partner with, who's an awesome guy, really good dude. And you'll be able to download that, take that home, and use that as you're setting up your own campaign. So this 8th best performing campaign is an auto campaign with close match. So when you set up an auto campaign, there are 4 options. There's close match, loose match, substitutes, and complements. The 2 that tend to work best are close match and substitutes. Close match and loose match have to do with keywords. Substitutes and complements have to do with products. If you're gonna set up a sponsored product auto campaign, normally you're gonna start with close match and see how that does. If that works well, then you can try a substitutes one. And if that works well too, then you can try loose match and complements. So let's click into this campaign and take a look at it. Now, when I go to bid adjustments, you can see we have some pretty radical bid adjustments here. We actually have a 164% bid adjuster on top of search, a 10% bid adjuster on rest of search, and a 0% bid adjuster on product pages. You guys are noticing a pattern here. The reason for that is product pages was not producing a good ACoS. Top of search was, plus it produces the best ranking result. So we just wanted to crank that up as much as possible. Now, you don't want to put 160% bid adjuster when you set up the campaign. You normally just want to start with 20, 30% max. And then as you're optimizing the campaign, you continue to up this by another 10 to 20 to 30%. And you just keep doing that as you assess how the campaign is doing. But you don't want to start off with a huge bid adjuster that used to work, but now it doesn't work. Now, if I click into the targeting, you're going to see what I was mentioning before. There are only 4 types of quote unquote targeting, since auto means you're letting Amazon do the targeting, but you're just telling them how to do the targeting. So close match means that it's going to target keywords that are a close match to the keywords that you would normally rank for and get sales from. Substitutes means it's targeting other products that are substitutes for your products, meaning it's basically the exact same product. Loose match means it's keywords that are a little more out there. They might be related to your primary keywords, but not exactly them. It's a little more risky. And then complements is products that are ideally complementary to your product. So printer paper plus a printer, for example, instead of printer paper advertised on another printer papers listing. Okay, now the 9th and 10th best performing campaigns here, again, we see a category targeting campaign and another single keyword exact match campaign targeting a very important keyword. In this case, it's cardstock paper. And those, my friends, are our top 10 best performing campaigns that allowed us to grow from 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month. Now, that's not the whole story. Like I was saying before, because of the way we set up these campaigns, we were able to get insights from them that allowed us to improve the performance of the brand overall. And this is the real secret sauce. This is the essential feedback loop that I've made other videos about, and I'm gonna show you some examples of it now. So check this out. Now, we've actually A/B tested further since then. This was like one of the first tests we did. But if you look at this, the old image, this is the primary image for the listing. It was nice looking, right? But it didn't convert as well as this new super ugly image that we created that simply highlighted the most important term, which is white cardstock. And it included the critical components of the features of the product, which is the dimensions of it, the weight of it, and how many units are in it. And it had the Made in USA stamp on there. This made a huge difference. This took our click-through rate from 0.5% to 3%, which is a 6x increase in the traffic to our listing just by making this change. And the only way we knew what change to make is because we set up the PPC so that we could get insights from the data from the PPC. And we saw that this keyword was really important, and we saw that people cared about Made in America, and we saw that people cared about these particular features of the product. So we just put it on the label really ugly, right front and center, and we were able to attract a bunch more clicks. Now, since then, we've actually done even more A/B tests and trying to find a happy medium between, a nice looking primary image and one that actually screams the most important features and keywords that the shoppers are actually searching. You can actually see the graph and click-through rate here. So there's a graph of click-through rate. This was before the primary image was updated. We updated it right here, and then it just shot up, and the click-through rate just went higher and higher. So what does that mean? That means we're just basically getting free traffic to our listing. So for a given number of impressions, if I 6x the click-through rate, for the same amount of impressions, I'm getting 6 times the number of sessions to my listing, which at a constant conversion rate means 6 times the amount of sales. So you could literally 6x your sales overnight just by taking your PPC data, drawing insights from it, and then using that to implement changes on your primary image to get you more clicks. This is the magic. It sounds super simple, but this is really one of our secret sauces here at Sophie Society and why we're able to become one of the single top spenders of Amazon ads on the platform. Now, if you're watching this video thinking, wow, I could use a bunch more ninja tactics like this, we at Sophie Society host the biggest Amazon PPC focused virtual event in the world. It's called the Profitable PPC Challenge. And it's a training, a 5-day intensive workshop training. You're not anonymous, you're not a number, you're actually a person that we interact with directly to help you solve your PPC problems. And you learn a ton of ninja tactics like this that you can use to increase the profitability and the growth of your brand. I got the link to that. It's the top link in the description of this video. You can click and join the next one there. Now, I promised you guys that I would give you this written out case study here. So what I've done is I actually just, instead of making you opt into it, I just linked to it in the description of this video. It's the bottom link in this video. So if you want to see an actual video with the brand owner, it's an interview between me and Will. He's an awesome guy, about how this story unfolded, as well as a written out version of the strategies that we employed. You can check out that link. It's the bottom link in the description of this video. And if you want to find out if you apply to partner with me to take over your PPC, just like we did with Will, to grow you profitably using Amazon PPC, just go to our main website, sophiesociety.com. That's also linked in the description of this video, and you can apply there to see if you apply to work directly with me and my team. Now, if you're interested in another hack that allows you to steal sales directly from your competitors using a glitch in Amazon's data that they didn't realize they were giving us access to as sellers, check out this video here and you can go through the whole process there. It's pretty awesome. We'll see you over there.